Okay, this whole video is unedited because it just is. Something, I'm just setting up my camera right here, but it'll hold. Something triggered me about my past with my family. I was born in 1977. I'm Generation X. At that time, I didn't know what Generation X was. In fact, I don't think I heard Gen X until many years ago. But at the time, the only generation I knew were boomers, which my parents were apparently boomers. It didn't mean anything to me. So I watched a video, a TikTok, and then the full video on YouTube about parenting. And something came up within me, and I want to share a bad situation that happened in my home when I was in high school. I believe it was like 11th grade. I was about 17. My parents, I would say my childhood was good. My childhood, when I was younger. I mean, I got spankings, I mean, I was not an innocent kid a lot of the time. Not a lot of the time, some of the times. And I'm saying that I wasn't an innocent teenager as well. So I'm not pure. However, when I got into my teens, and this is years later, I realized that my parents had no idea how to handle kids after a certain age, because my older brother and older sister, they became active alcoholics, and there was a lot of physical fist fighting around me. And I fought my brother and sister too. I mean, we had problems left and right, but I want to talk about one particular situation. I don't really have an idea of why I'm sharing this, so just please bear with me. There was a lot of gaslighting, and it's because my parents just didn't know how to handle a teenager. They ended up stopped being good parents after a while, and that's a fact. And it's something that I look back now. I'm sorry. I'm getting emotional. I'm emotional over the 17-year-old who had to endure purposely being made to be felt being in the wrong through gaslighting. My parents never wanted to admit any fault. They just did not know how to parent after a while. And the consequences was me. Sorry, I have to get the crying out of the way. I'll be better in a second. I apologize. Okay, so yeah, there was like a lot of instances, ongoing instances where there's a lot of gaslighting, a lot of me being made felt that I was in the wrong, no matter how much of a good argument I brought up, because they were in the fucking wrong a lot of the times. They never took accountability. They never admitted any wrong. I was the one who made wrong. Okay, I think I'm getting a lot better. Mind you, I have been in therapy for this. It's just the healing is still ongoing. So that's what's going on right now. One night, um, my parents came at me. I really don't remember what the situation was, but it was like one of those instances where we're in an argument, and I know that now at 17, I decided to do best in school. I was not a good student when I was in my um, grade, middle school, into my first few years in high school. But on my 11th grade year, I decided to do really good in school, study, do my homework. Um, those were the two main things. And also be good in the household, basically do my chores. Like I had cats. We had cats. I had to clean the litter boxes. I had to clean the, uh, because my parents worked and I had a little niece I had to take care of as well. So I would come home. Um, I would do my chores. I would do my chores first and make sure my niece came home. And if she needed to do something like clean her room, I would make her do it. I would like get an idea what to feed her for dinner because my parents were at work. Do my chores as well, make sure clean, you know, and do my homework and study. Like I was busy from wake up to bedtime. It was school, chores, niece, homework. I mean, I put it in. However, there was something about my family that always had to pick something, always had to bring something up to argue about. And again, I don't know what the argument was that night, um, but it got really heated, and I was stressed. This was like, I think it was getting closer to the end of the year, and I was studying hard, and I wasn't about casual time. I mean, I had a TV in my room. That was the most casual. I never went out. I mean, other teenagers in my school, like they got together with friends, for the weekends. I didn't have a life like that. I was like, a little budding gay kid. I didn't have people to hang around with, and that didn't really bother me at the time. It doesn't really bother me now because I knew what I was about back then. Anyways, the argument got really heated. I mean, I knew it was my father. I'll give you a background on him. He was beat. Him and his siblings were beat by his father physically, and apparently that got instilled in him as a father to do the same to us. Now, I was spanked as a kid. I don't, as a Generation X, that's what we got. We even got spanked at school. That was just a thing back then. It's not now, no. So, but I was like 17. I wouldn't say I was feeling like an adult, but I knew I had the right to argue back because I was standing on my business back then, and I was. Um, Anyways, it was getting heated. I was hot, and okay, what had happened was my father punched me. Bam! I could feel it right here, like he popped me. And it was quick. It was, and that was my reaction. Like he fast and hard. I was just like stuck. I didn't even feel it. That's how fast it was. I didn't feel there was no pain or anything. It was just, and my mother was like, and I said, "Excuse me," and I walked out of the room and I went straight to the garage. I went out to the garage. I didn't even know why I walked out there. I was just like stunned. But I knew I needed to do something to walk or whatever, My father was sitting there. So I walk out in the garage. I'm like, he's never laid a hand on me in years. And I knew there was no reason to do that now. I walk out in the garage and I stand there and I look over and there's these construction supplies and I see a piece of wood, a piece of wood like this long, Anyways, I go up there and grab that, and I knew what I was going to do. I already made my decision to do it. Grabbed it, walked right in. But as I was walking, to the room, I knew they were in the bedroom because they have a TV and they're watching TV. As I'm walking through, I'm like, okay, pull back. Yes, you're enraged. You're still going to do this. Whatever happens afterwards, fuck it. I'll go to jail. I will go to jail. And I'm telling him this, but calm down. Don't kill him, but let it be known. Send a message. I'm not saying this like I'm condoning it now, but this is what was going on back then. And I'm just telling you how it went. So I breathe a few breaths. I'm like, okay, we're going to do this. So I walk in. I'm walking in. I have my arm in the plank behind me. Like I put the plank I hold it like in the middle and hide it behind, sort of like hiding behind my back so he doesn't see. Like it's my leg and my back is hiding it. And I'm walking in. I walk in. I'm walking in. And I drop the plank where the end is like this. And I go and I swing it. I hit it on his head. And I swing it. I hit it on his arm. Then I hit his leg. And then I hit his head again. Now I'm trying to focus. Like, okay, don't do too much damage, but you're only sending a message. And he gets up. And I hit his legs again. Then I hit him in the neck. And I actually remember because I was like, okay, specific places where you're just, saying a message. So I'm hitting him in certain places where I know I'm not going to do too much damage. I'm just sort of like stunning him, but I knew I was like, really giving it to him. My mother was back in the corner like this. She didn't know what to do. And this was all within like a minute from me walking from the garage to there and actually doing it. She was shocked. I didn't anticipate what she was going to do at all. Anyways, I stopped and I said, "You're done. You are fucking done. Don't ever touch me again, because next time I'm going to fucking kill your ass. You're done. Know this, So I go to the bathroom down the hall. I'm sorry if I'm not being fast enough. I apologize. But anyways, I go to the bathroom and I get supplies like medical, like what I think is medical, we did have padding or what was it, bandages. Yeah, we had bandages. Whatever, ointment or whatever I needed into a bag. And I go to the room. I said, "Here." I drop it on the bed. He's still lying on the ground, and she's just standing there. I said, "Here, take care of him, clean him up, bandage, whatever you need to, but stay in here." And I close the door. I go into my room, and I sit and I breathe. I'm like, I really just did that. I really did just do that. And then I'm feeling my face like, oh crap, now it's hurting, So I hear motion in the in their room, and it's just her getting him up and getting on the bed. And I hear the bag, being moved and open. So she's obviously doing whatever she can, cleaning him up, bandaging and everything. So I give him time to do that. And I said, you know what? This is a worth either calling the police on, And so I go get, the cordless phone. We had just bought a cordless phone. I take it. I go to the bedroom, open. I sit here. Call the police, call an ambulance, whatever it is. But if you don't, just leave me alone for the rest of the night or forever. However you want to do this, it's up to you. And I put the phone on the bed and I closed the door. That was it. I remember I made I threw something in the microwave and I went into my room and I just stayed. I stayed there the rest of the night. I know my mother went out one time and came back, but I don't think they wanted to come out ever again. Don't blame them because, their son went crazy. Anyways, I did my homework that night, and then I went to bed. Woke up in the morning, got ready for school like always, showered and everything. And as I was walking out, I saw my mother. She was her head down, sitting on the couch. And I said, "How is he?" And she's like, "He'll be okay." And that was it. Nothing was said after that. It took a few days. And I went into his room. He was still recuperating. He had to call into work for a while. I went to his room. I said, "How are you?" And he said, "I'm okay." And I sat on his bed and I said, "Do you want to talk about it now?" He said, "Not really." I said, "Okay, if you ever want to, let me know, because we got to get over this some way, somehow." Since then, they chose to bring certain things up, but in a very easier way for them that it won't trigger me. Like they had anger issues, both of them, and we would get into it, but not so severely like it did that night. Again, they never really took accountability, apologized for anything. I never apologized for that. Again, I really don't know why I'm sharing this. And again, I've been through therapy, and I'm going to continue in therapy over this. But that was one of my severe Gen X moments with my boomer parents. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I don't know how you're going to take this, if you're going to watch this or not. But if you have gotten this far, thank you. Wow. There's a lot of instances like that in my past. Not just then, but also when I moved to New York in 1998, certain things were happening back then. Hopefully I'll do another intense story time. I'm not really a story time type of person, but geez. Again, thank you so much. I am doing well, considering. But anyways, thank you. Give you much love. Take care.